Are you weighing multiple job offers and you're just not certain which direction that you want to go in? My name is Bill Benoist. I'm a certified professional career coach here in Silicon Valley, and I recently worked with a client who was in a similar situation, and I wanted to share with you an exercise that I did with this client on helping him make this decision. So a little bit about my client. He was a single dad. He was raising a 10-year-old daughter by himself. And he had been laid off twice in the last 2 years. And the second layoff was extremely difficult for him because it was not just him, but he also had his daughter that he needed to look out for. And so there's a little bit of fear in him. The first position that was offered was a position with a very stable company that had been around for a number of years, a biotechnology firm. The other company was actually a startup, but what excited him about this position was two things. One, it paid 50% more than the biotechnology firm, and there was no way that he was going to be able to negotiate a salary like that with a biotechnology firm. The other one was that he was only going to be employee number 18 with the company, so he was going to get to wear a lot of hats. He knew that it would probably develop his career a lot faster, and he saw that as probably a better career move, but he wasn't certain because it was a startup company. So what we did something called the hierarchy of criteria. What this is where you take a sheet of paper, and on one side of the paper you write down 13 of the most important elements of work, of a job for you. And so he goes down this list. And by the way, when you do this, usually stop at around number 4 or 5 because it's really hard. You get there, well, the most important thing to me is salary, is commute, is benefits, is a good boss. And you get down to about number 4, maybe 5. And it's like, God, you want me to do 13 of these? But give yourself a few minutes because you will start going through and it will start coming to you and you'll get through 13 of these. But this is the exercise that I had for him, was to go through what was most important. So all of these areas on the left-hand column there, what was most important. Then what I did is I said, all right, take a look at these 13. If you could only have one of these, only one of them, which one would it be? Just one. And he says, one? Just one? But he selected one and he crossed it off and he put it on the right-hand column. So that left 12 items on the left side. And I said, now take a look at these remaining 12. If you could have one of these, which one would it be? And there's only one. You could only take one of the 12. And he struggled a little bit. And it wasn't like the first one or two. I think it was like the 7th item down. He picked and he moved it over into the right-hand column and he crossed it off on the left. And then I had him do it again. I said, okay, there's now 11 left. If you could only have one of these 11, which one would it be? And again, took a little bit of time. He selected the one that was most important of those 11 and he put it over here. And we did this all the way through. And it's about a half-hour exercise because it's a lot easier said than done. But what it did is it gave him a very clear picture of what it was that was most important to him. And you know what was number 1 on the list? Stability, which I'm not surprised at there. But salary was like number 4. It was work-life balance was 1, stability was 1, benefits was 1, and this is what helped him make his decision. And you guessed it, he took the biotechnology firm that had been around for quite some time, and that's the one he went after. So it's called the hierarchy of criteria exercise. I have that exercise linked in another video. But if you are dealing with multiple job offers, you can't just say, well, I'm going to go with this one because it's going to pay more, or because it's going to get more benefits, or because it's closer. You need to look at your overall core values out there and make your decision based upon that. You're going to be a lot happier. So I hope you found this video informative and useful, and if so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification. That way you're not going to miss anything moving forward. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.